In just the last few years, New York State has greatly expanded its child care assistance program. What it's done, basically, is increase eligibility. Many more low and middle income families can get help paying for child care now. But the process has become a victim of its own success. It's so popular, it's running out of money, and people are getting shut out of the child care they expected. That's today's story of the day.
Support for Story of the Day comes from Morja Wealth Management, serving the North Country for 3 generations. MorjaWM.com. Securities offered through Hightower Securities, LLC, member FINRA, SIPC. Hightower is an SEC-registered investment advisor. And Kinney Drugs, whose pharmacists offer routine seasonal vaccines for older adults, including senior dose influenza, COVID, RSV, and pneumonia. Details at KinneyDrugs.com.
Hey, I'm David Sommerstein. It's Tuesday, November 25th. First up, it's been a hard start to the holiday season for many North Country residents. The federal government shutdown delayed SNAP food assistance checks, prices at the grocery store are still high, and other cuts to safety net programs threaten more tough times ahead. Food pantries and food banks are working overtime. Our news intern Richard Haller visited a soup kitchen in Canton last week where more people are coming in for help.
Thaddean White and her kitchen crew are cooking a Thanksgiving meal for what she anticipates to be a busier night than usual at the United Methodist Church in Canton.
Stuffing, and then the potatoes and the turkey that's over there. And then we've got the gravy in the crock pot.
Every Wednesday since 1999, volunteers at this program, Free Will Meal, have been serving food for people who need it. Since the COVID-19 pandemic, it's been takeout only, where people drive up in their cars around 4 o'clock and say how many meals they need.
We should have enough food for about 170 people. Our numbers have increased lately, and a lot of the weeks we've been averaging maybe 140 to 160.
The program is organized by Garden Share, a food security network that works across St. Lawrence County. 77-year-old Mike Defoe is a volunteer and a retired veteran who served in Vietnam. He says he just wants to give to people who are in need and doesn't question who they are or why they need it.
Cancer, PTSD, all the good stuff. And when I started going to this church, I found out about this program, and this has been helping me out with my PTSD and stuff like that, because I have something to look forward to and actually be able to do something for the people.
In addition to the drive-thru, the program also provides a food pantry that opens up at noon. Defoe says there are fruits and vegetables and canned goods.
See, that's free. And the way things are now, I've noticed that's picked up, and this is picked up because people need it bad. Because SNAP program that quit on us, on them, not me. And this is one of the poorest counties this side of the Mississippi River.
The government shutdown delayed funding for social safety net programs, including food benefits through SNAP. Even though the government's reopened, people are still struggling to make ends meet. The Federal Heating Assistance Program, HEAP, is in limbo right now, with no end in sight. Outside the church, it's cold. People are lining up in their vehicles to pick up meals. George Caswell gets out of his car and looks through packs of chicken and vegetables that are sitting in a shopping cart.
No, I'm here. I lost my wife a year and a half, and I hate cooking, and these kind of things really help me out. So,
Dee Smith lives in Canton and rides up the street on his electric scooter. He works in HVAC, installing heating and cooling systems, but had a knee injury recently and hasn't been able to work. He says he's been struggling with delays to his workers' comp and that this kitchen helps him.
I got some meat out there. I got the dinner, and probably going to grab some grapes. I try to grab things like bread, stuff like that a lot.
Some people are hanging out inside, like James Schall from Old DeKalb. He's 94 years old, a regular here, wearing a baseball cap and a big leather jacket.
Yeah, it helps me. Yeah. I'm all alone. Come down, talk with Mike. And
the line of cars keeps getting longer as people drive up to the church doors. Volunteers shuffle in and out to deliver meals right to people's windows.
Oh, great.
They put her name on that.
All right, thank you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Paul Ripley shows up to grab supplies. He volunteers his time by picking up food and leftover items to deliver to his community in Ogdensburg. He works for DSS and does chemical dependency and says he's seen a lot of people struggling recently.
Last couple of years, a lot of people are on fentanyl and homeless, and people lost their SNAP benefits recently, and now they just got them back. So I see the same people week in, week out, but it seems like there's more need.
It's about 5 o'clock now, getting dark, and the kitchen is winding down. Dafo gets back from delivering food outside of town. He says he's proud of the work they've done tonight and tells me about a mother who moved here from North Carolina.
2 years ago, in the wintertime, brought 10 kids with them. They pulled up out here. We were mostly out of food, but we did scrape up enough for them to have a meal that night. And then we told them about the programs, and they started coming. They're still coming now after 2 years.
And there were many more people like that tonight. The volunteers cooked and served around 150 meals, a break midweek for those having trouble putting food on the table. For North Country Public Radio, I'm Richard Haller in Canton.
New York is spending $1.8 billion this year to help people pay for childcare. But it's not nearly enough. Less than 2 months into the state's current fiscal year, over half of the state's counties have run out of funds for childcare support. Amy Feiereisel reports.
St. Lawrence County opened for child care assistance applications on October 1st. They were flooded with applications, way more than the 35% increase they'd projected. Less than 2 months later, all their funding has been allocated, and then some.
We're looking to be $1.3 million in the hole already, and that is unacceptable.
Joe Sieber is St. Lawrence County's Commissioner of Social Services. He spoke at a recent county-organized meeting for child care providers. He says the county will pay for that extra $1.3 million from its contingency fund, but that's already pushing it. So they're closing. The last day the county will take applications or recertify existing families is November 26th.
I hate it. It's unfortunate, but I don't know how to be any clearer to the powers that be in Albany. We are the 33rd county now that is doing this already this year.
This is a statewide problem, and over half of the North Country's counties have had to stop processing applications for their child care assistance programs because they've run out of money. That's putting child care providers and families in a really tough spot. Sieber says this will impact St. Lawrence County's workforce because some parents won't be able to afford child care out of pocket and will have to stop working to stay at home with their kids.
We are one of the more economically depressed counties in the state, and this pushes us even farther in.
Bruce Stewart is executive director of the St. Lawrence Child Care Council. He says expanding eligibility, which has been a cornerstone of Governor Kathy Hochul's policy priorities, only works if the state can pay for it.
Universal child care is a tremendous concept. It's not even remotely close to anywhere near realistic with the current levels of funding that we have.
When asked about insufficient funding, the New York Office of Children and Family Services says far more families are now being helped by child care assistance funding than ever before. And that's true. Since 2022, the number of families in the program has nearly tripled, and the number of children being served has jumped from 60,000 kids to 160,000. And the expansion has been a key part of helping new child care providers open. But the chaos and confusion of only some kids getting subsidies and of families losing subsidies mid-year can't be understated. Christina McCarthy, the owner of Tri-Town Kids Daycare Center in Brazier Falls, says 3 of her own employees rely on child care assistance, and so do many of the families at her center.
I have teachers in 4 school districts that this is going to affect in the next couple months. Teachers. I have bank managers that this is going to affect. I have people established in careers that are also utilizing their insurance through their companies. So the drain that this economically could put on St. Lawrence County.
St. Lawrence County estimates around 240 families will either be denied assistance or will lose it this year. And there's no relief coming. The next chance to expand funding will come this spring for next year's budget starting in October of 2026. There is perhaps one glimmer of hope. Zohran Mamdani, the newly elected mayor of New York City, made universal childcare a key promise of his campaign. Governor Kathy Hochul says it's a key area where she wants to work with him. Her budget director recently said she wants a phase-in of universal childcare to be successful. The question is when. Amy Feiereisel, North Country Public Radio.
We have more news all the time at ncpr.org. Music today by Saranac Project of Saranac Lake and Evan Veenstra of Gananoque, Ontario. I'm David Summerstein, North Country Public Radio.